Yeah, it's a common occurrence after the podcast. A full, 40 minutes to 50 minutes of bullying him on camera. I'm always like, are you mad at me? You're my bestie. I love you.
Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is The Anime Effect. Each week, we bring you the latest news and views from the shows you love. It's pop culture with an anime lens. Guys, today we are welcoming Black Butler English dub leads Brina Palencia, who plays Ciel, and Michael Tatum, a.k.a. the Black Butler himself, Sebastian.
That was a good Sebastian. Good job.
Leah and I actually had the chance a little ways back to chat with them about returning to the show, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear what Brina and Michael shared about coming back to these roles, about working together, how their acting relationship has changed over the years, and yeah, that'll be coming up in our main story.
Today, we're talking about more confirmed second seasons of anime we've been watching, a new fitness game with an unexpected featured character, and our first batch of summer anime season announcements.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
I can't believe summer season's almost done.
Oh, stop. The time it's a moving.
Summer 2020, right?
Yeah, 20.
Right?
Yes. No, actually, no, I don't want to go back to 2020.
No.
I'm your host, Nick Friedman.
It's me, LeAlec Murray.
And I'm back. It's Haley Wiseman.
Haley's back. Ooh, and some harmony.
That was pretty good. And the three of us together are going to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is.
That was way better than the first one. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Hell yeah,
well,
brother.
To be fair, we're all in the same room this time. Last time we were in the three separate rooms.
In pods?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So Leah's on vacation this week. So we decided, let's bring back Haley.
Let's go.
Let's get Haley back on the show.
Kicking and screaming.
That's right.
Kicking
Haley's
and
back
screaming,
on the show.
even though the last time I was like, I will be back.
I'm going to be here.
So I know we're going to get into news here in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about some other news that just happened. Nintendo Direct just aired. Yeah. I need initial reactions.
I'm pumped, dude. So here's the thing with me and Nintendo. They always deliver something that I didn't know I needed.
Uh-huh.
Or they deliver the thing and I'm like, yeah, I expected that, but I still want it.
Sure.
I think I'm always excited to see a Direct. Mostly because I feel like I'm just going to be adding to my collection because I feel like, for instance, the Paper Mario re-release, oh, hey, I get to put that back in my collection again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just going to buy it.
So this was the same way. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to put it on my shelf and probably just look at it because I don't have time to play games. So there's that.
Nick was talking about that because we watched the Direct here and he was literally just like, yeah, I bought all of that series and I just put it on my shelf and I've never played
Sometimes it happens. You literally are just like, hey, I love the thing. I'm going to buy the thing. I'm going to just buy it to stare at it.
And look, the way my brain works is like one day, as my responsibilities continue to increase as an adult, I will be able to sit down and play all 9 Ace Attorney games in succession.
It'll come one day.
There were a lot of announcements. They talked about 30 plus games.
Yeah, they did.
We don't have time to talk about them all. You'll be able to check out the full coverage on Crunchyroll News, but one game that each of you are really excited about before we roll into news.
Lowest hanging fruit, man. The Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I thought we'd never see it, to be perfectly honest.
Licensing.
Licensing, and here's the thing, is that the Marvel licensing has always been a legendary nightmare. Forever.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because, a lot of those games just exist on an Xbox hard drive somewhere, or they're copies that I probably can't play because I've destroyed the disc from playing them so much.
Right.
So I'm just glad to actually be able to put them back in my collection, even if it's just a collected edition.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Mine is the new Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
New Zelda game. Out of nowhere.
Very out of nowhere, actually.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it at all.
I wasn't either, just because we just had
Tears of the
Kingdom last year. But I think it's nice because it's that chibi art style, which
I love it.
I really enjoyed with Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And then the fact that this is now you can play as Zelda, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's got a really cool mechanic of the being able to copy and stuff like that. I think there's going to be a lot of options in how you can play. And I think we saw that with Tears of the Kingdom too, where those games really succeeded because of all the weird things you could do in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the copying ability looks amazing. I'm really excited about that one. And it's in September, which is insane.
It's super
I know,
soon.
that was wild.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of things that I didn't expect that'll be out in a few months, Mario and Luigi Brothership was probably my pick.
Yes.
I have such a long and storied relationship with the Mario and Luigi games.
Dude, this game series is so good. I'm so happy it's
I'm
back.
really curious who's developing this one because
I am too.
Alpha Dream, who
Yes.
Right.
developed the original series,
Yep.
I think all of them up until now.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
They do not.
So I'll be really curious to see who's working on this one.
And then special shout out just
no,
on my
don't do it.
Fairy Tale 2.
Oh God.
Let's go. I probably won't play the game, but it does make me want to watch Fairy Tale again.
Same. Yeah.
It's
same.
been a hot minute since I finished Fairy Tale because I watched obviously the last season when it was airing.
Mhm.
We were
And-
in the last
Yeah,
episode.
Nick and I were both in the last episode of
That's
the
so
dub.
cool.
But it's been a while since I've watched it, so
Mhm.
seeing that Fairy Tale 2 trailer, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I need to go back and watch Fairy Tale
Yeah.
again.
There's so much more. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, and tons more. So go check out the full coverage of Crunchyroll News. But you guys ready to get into more news from Crunchyroll?
Ooh,
Yeah.
What?
It's news time.
Up next, we're going to be talking about the latest news, some of which we already kind of teased with a new boxing game that's got a special guest that I'm super excited about. And then, of course, the summer season launch with lots of cool new shows coming this way. So we'll check it out after the break.
To the beach.
Okay, it's time to dive into news. Oh, no.
Because we're at the beach.
Okay, Nick, take it away. You're at the beach. Go ahead.
Okay. What's a sport that you'd want to play at the beach? You might be thinking volleyball,
That's about
That's
it.
it. That's
sandcastle
about it, bro.
making,
That's about it.
surfing. No.
Is sandcastle making a sport?
It's like, I
yeah.
mean, it's competitive.
But no, those are both wrong. Boxing.
You want to
Okay.
box at the beach?
I wouldn't want to box at the
The
beach, bro.
fitness box. Look, I'm trying to segue, okay? Segways are at the beach.
No,
No.
they're not.
The fitness boxing series returns. There were 2 fitness boxing games. Then
Yep.
they did a Fist of the North Star collab,
Right.
which
Which
was
is great.
wild. Next up, we're on the Miku beat. Hatsune
Yeah.
Miku
Hell yeah.
joins the fitness boxing franchise in Fitness Boxing featuring Hatsune Miku, in case you're wondering what the title was
Right.
of the fitness boxing game featuring Hatsune Miku. It is getting a Western release, so we already knew this was coming to Japan, but
Mhm.
the idea that a Hatsune Miku boxing game is getting a
Yeah.
physical release in the West
Crazy.
in 2024. We've come a long way from like Ubisoft localizing those anime games as the Imagine series
I
for the
know.
DS,
I know.
or like the Wild Pets Dolphin visual
know.
novel. Anyway,
Dark times. Anyway.
there's other Vocaloid characters in here. This game has actually, the Japanese version has gone semi-viral on TikTok with some playthroughs of some of the songs, including one in particular that has over 500,000 views, which is awesome.
Amazing.
I can't wait to see
great.
more people check this out.
I love a viral playthrough on TikTok.
Hmm.
So good.
Yeah, I always love a good rhythm action game, especially one that makes me like work out, because I don't do that. So the idea of like
Yeah.
accidentally working out by playing a video game is cool. But I'm curious, what do you guys look for in a rhythm or fitness game?
The apex of rhythm games for me was probably DJ Hero,
Mm.
and they took that away from us, and you know the world is not great because of it.
Died
Anyway,
too soon.
And that's why the world's not great, because there's no more
There's
DJ.
no
There's no more
Hero.
DJ Hero.
but no, that's kind of what I look for, man. Like something unique, because at the time, like when DJ Hero came out, like they created a whole new system for it. Like
Right.
they were like, it has to use the Guitar Hero system or the Rock Band system, but we have to make it unique to, you know,
It has to
the
feel
DJ
like, and
infrastructure.
like the way that Guitar Hero made you feel like you were
Yeah.
playing a guitar, even though
Right.
it was nothing like it.
Exactly.
Same thing with DJ Hero.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we'll put some buttons, we'll give you the scratch
Yeah.
and a dial.
Man,
or
and the mixes
switch.
were so good. Like I look for that in rhythm games too. Like your music has to, like it has to be like bangers on bangers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what DJ Hero was for me.
I think for fitness games, for mine, it's really like simplicity. I don't want anything that's too difficult or anything like that, because I'm similar to Nick, where like I don't exercise regularly. So anything that's gonna like take too much effort, I'm like, no, this is too much exercise. At
This feels like
point.
working out.
Yeah.
I want to be tricked.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, rhythm games, I got to go Elite Beat Agents,
Oh, Elite Beat is so
which we
good.
only got one in the US. I think
So
there were
good.
2 Oenden games in Japan.
Yeah. yeah.
If you haven't played it, there's a really great, I think Skater Girl is one of the songs in Elite Beat Agents, and it's like a really silly cover of it.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
For the
It's
DS.
so goofy.
Yeah. If you haven't played Elite Beat Agents and you have a DS, and I think the game's pretty cheap. I think it's under 20
I think
bucks
so.
online.
You can find it pretty cheap.
Definitely check it out. In other anime game news, this one kind of came late breaking this weekend, but there's a Kaiju No. 8 video game coming out. Coming to mobile and PC. Akatsuki Games is developing it. They're distributing it on mobile phones as well as PC. And Toho and Production IG are involved in the promo. Yeah.
More kaiju. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take it.
If it allows, I mean, I hope it lets you play as both the kaiju and also the Defense Force, because I love a good game where you're stomping around as a kaiju.
Yes.
I know the episode that you did with the Kaiju No. 8 cast when you were talking about War of the Monsters, I was like, oh, great game. It is that time of the spring season, or the time of any anime season, where shows start ending. We start getting season 2 announcements or continuing season announcements. So we had to start on that front this week with Delicious in Dungeon season 2.
We're back.
No spoilers. I'm on episode 20. I got 4 left.
Okay.
The end is so good. Like,
well, that's a spoiler.
It's not.
Is it though?
Is it, Nick?
I don't know. Maybe I was expecting it to be just like guts,
awful,
berserk level, like
it's
so distraught. And,
it really checks out for
traumatic.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So we got a really short kind of teaser trailer. There was food in like every shot, which is great. That's been one of the highlights of the show, is seeing how they make monster parts look delicious, except for the things they pull out of the ground. What are they called?
Oh, the mandrakes.
Mandrakes. When they make them like candied apples or whatever. I was like,
yeah.
And Marcel like bites off one of their heads.
Ugh.
That's a spoiler. Sorry, guys. What do you think it is about like Delicious in Dungeon that has kind of captivated audience the way it has? Like,
I think it's two things. I think it's getting a cooking anime that isn't Food Wars, to be perfectly honest, because like the big criticism of Food Wars is that it's Food Wars and it's just kind of way over the top.
Yeah. Okay, that's it's Food Wars. That's a good thing.
Yes. But I think because it's almost like, because when I watch cooking videos, it's very much like how much instruction and also kind of fun can I get out of this?
Yeah.
And I think that's what the show brings to like cooking for anime.
Yeah.
But then also it's a fantasy story. So we saw, like, just to kind of give a title to put it next to, Friedman did so well because it's a fantasy anime.
Yeah,
and there's
pure
not
fantasy.
and there's not a lot of those in the market right now.
Right.
And Delicious in Dungeon is a fantasy anime, and it's very much like the entire time watching the show, the only thing I was thinking is like, I want to make a D&D campaign out of this because it is purely set for this.
Yeah.
So I think that's why people have been attracted to it and have almost been talking about it like nonstop.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I really think it's the mixture of fantasy and then the delicious looking food. Like, delicious looking food always gets people watching.
100%.
Like, you see the Ghibli compilations on TikTok and you're like, okay, I'm going to watch every Ghibli movie now. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think, that combination is really what has made it go to where it is, because like we had campfire cooking last year.
Yes.
But that was very much like he was still kind of making regular food and it was things that we were familiar with. So it didn't quite have that, like, they're doing what with that?
Right.
Like, what are they doing? And so I think it's that intrigue that comes with cooking with the fantasy stuff.
Yes.
That really is like the key duo.
I also, one of the things I've noticed in catching up is that the way those characters act, like between Senshi and Laios and Marcel and Chil, like the dynamic of the four of them, the core four, is just, it's so good.
And I think that's probably also what draws people to the show is the party element.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, there are some shows that are like this, but not everybody is likable.
Yeah.
But in Delicious in Dungeon, everybody is likable.
Yeah.
Even like the people that you meet that you're not supposed to like.
Yeah. It's like Friedman is in a similar
same
place.
thing. Or like Haikyuu. Like in Haikyuu, you're like, oh, I know I'm supposed to hate these schools, but I don't, because they're all likable.
Yeah.
Except Oikawa. We do hate him.
Yeah, for sure.
If you haven't had a chance to check out Delicious in Dungeon yet, definitely do. It's streaming on Netflix. And it follows basically a party that is going through this dungeon to rescue one of the main character's siblings. And in doing that, they meet up with a dwarf chef who loves to cook monsters.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to tell you, because it's incredible from there. And really, the stakes are really high, too. I don't want to spoil anything.
The stakes are incredibly high, but there's a lot of stakes in the show.
Another season 2 announcement that came through at the end, toward the end of season 1 is, we had to shout this out because we've gotten so many
comments about this one.
I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Season 2 confirmed. There's no release date just yet, but now that we have Haley here, I have to ask, is this an isekai, Haley?
Oh my gosh. No, I'm not getting dragged into this conversation.
I will not be dragged into your discourse.
I was like, I've seen all of the comments about this. I'm not getting dragged into this.
Okay.
But I will say that I did see somebody talking about the season 2 announcement, and they were like, I'm so glad this got season 2. Like, this is like the bar for isekai now. And they were like talking about it that way. So I'm like, okay, I got to watch it,
It's
I guess.
Which boxes, and we're not going to talk about this for too long because we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Which boxes does isekai have to check? Because there's reincarnation and there's another world.
Right.
When you look at the definition of the word, it should really just be another world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So a reincarnation plot point theoretically isn't enough on its own to warrant being called an isekai.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's plenty of series where they get brought into the other world, but they are still themselves.
Yes.
Like Fairy Tail when they did the weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Digimon.
Yeah, exactly.
Isekai.
There you go.
But
So
Seventh Prince, reincarnated in the same world as a different person, not an isekai.
it's a reincarnation.
All right, moving on. I say this every week. It was a big week for anime news.
Always
y'all.
a big week. Extra.
I've been seeing this title appear on a number of We Wish It Was Getting Adapted or
Yes.
Animated.
I am.
Yep.
This is the biggest news of the weekend for me. I'm so excited.
Really?
Yeah. This manga is so
Really?
good.
Well, I'm going to lean on you because I don't know
So
it.
good.
But I've heard a lot of good things. I know Zeno Robinson is always talking about it on
Oh,
Twitter.
yeah.
And I love
Yeah.
Zeno, so I got to give him a shout out. Gachi Akta is officially getting adapted in 2025
Hell yes.
from Kodansha and Studio Bones,
Mhm.
known for their incredible work on My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood,
Mhm.
Mob Psycho 100. This could be an all-timer.
This one is right there in the pocket of what we've been getting for dark shonen stories.
Okay.
And this is just adding to it.
Okay.
So like basically takes place on an abandoned Earth. People are living in floating cities, and the main character gets accused of murder and gets kicked off the edge of the city and has to learn how to survive
Oh my gosh.
and gains crazy like magic manipulation powers. I don't really know how you explain it,
Okay.
but he's basically very Mad Max in the way
I like
that the story
Okay.
is presented.
So he's living on the abandoned Earth now.
Yeah, he's living on abandoned Earth. He's trying to figure out how to survive.
Is it fantasy magic or is it like sci-fi tech magic?
It's more sci-fi.
Okay.
It's very leaning. It's a very dark sci-fi kind of story. Because,
I got that
like,
feeling from the teaser visual that
yeah,
they showed off.
because even in the floating cities that they live in, the floating cities aren't really doing too much better than abandoned Earth. So
Okay.
it's very dystopian across the board.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's probably one of my favorite manga that I've read this year outside of One's new title, Versus.
I need to pick that up.
Mm.
Yeah. Kodansha said that more details are going to be shared at Anime Expo, and we will be at Anime
Heck
Expo.
yeah, we'll be there.
So,
Tap in. We're active.
And also, we'll be hosting 2 panels at Anime Expo. I gotta plug it again. If you're at Anime
Yeah.
Expo, come check out our panels. We're hosting the Bocchi the Rock panel with the director and the Crunchyroll Presents Katakawa anime panel.
We have an awesome surprise for the Katakawa panel.
If you have been listening or watching the show, you are not going to, and you're at Anime Expo,
You don't wanna miss
you
it.
will want to be there.
You don't wanna miss it.
You'll
Is
want to
it-
be there regardless, but you'll want to
Is
be
it
there.
the spooky, scary skeletons that you guys were talking about last week?
Well, yeah, it is. It's that,
Yeah.
but it's something
Yeah,
else
yeah,
that
yeah.
is very specific to the show.
Yep. Summer season announcements have kicked off.
Woohoo.
We have reached, again, the point in the season where Crunchyroll starts showing off what it's got going for the next season.
Yep.
And it is a summer of fantasy. It is a summer of long titles. It is a summer.
It's always a season of long titles.
It is a summer of rom-coms.
Yeah.
And while the announcements are just kind of starting, I wanted to just shout out a few that are coming, and I would love to hear what you guys are most excited about.
Yeah.
So the big one for me is Makina, Too Many Losing Heroines,
Mhm.
which may be rom-com of the season.
Mhm.
Heard a lot of good things, and I'm just ready. I'm just ready for that one.
Mhm. Again, lowest hanging fruit here. Tower of God season 2.
That was going to
It's
be
back.
mine.
Tower of God's
Yeah.
back.
There you go.
Very excited.
I'm so stoked. I feel like this has just been the year, or I guess the last 2 years of like stuff that has been gone for multiple years, just saying, hey,
Yeah.
we're back.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it because it's like, oh, The void. It's being filled.
Black Butler, Blue Exorcist, Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready.
mean, Gun Gale Online is coming back.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What?
Not this summer. Not this summer, as far as we know. I don't.
No.
I just had to say it. I mean, for the conversation.
I saw
for the
that.
conversation.
Bro, I saw that and I was like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, really?
It's exciting.
No, but I
Where's
think
Fire Force? Please bring
Where's,
Fire Force.
please, our Lord and Savior Fire Force.
When
please,
will my Fire
please
Force come home
back
from war?
I think Tower of God's going to be especially interesting though because it's such a shift in the art style from season 1 to season 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be really interesting to see how they kind of portray all of that. But Yatagarasu is continuing, which I know that Nick like tunes out anytime I talk about Yatagarasu.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a break. I'll see you guys there.
Okay, bye.
In a second.
I say the words historical fantasy and his eyes like glaze over. But it's so good. I've been watching it this season. It's one of my favorite shows from this season.
Nice.
And it's just so good. So I'm excited that that's going to continue as well.
Nice.
Well, that's it. That's it on updates this week. For the full list of shows that were just announced for the summer season on Crunchyroll, you can head to Crunchyroll News. And we'll be bringing you some more summer updates as more shows are revealed.
Yeah.
Next up, Leah and my conversation with the Black Butler English dub leads, Brina Palencia and Michael Tatum. This was a really good interview. I can't wait for you to check it out. It's coming up.
Okay, guys, we are so excited to welcome the leads of Black Butler English dub. With us, we have Brina Palencia, who is our Ciel, and Michael Tatum, aka the Black Butler himself, Sebastian. Welcome to the Anime Effect, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank
For
you.
sure,
Super
for
cool
sure.
to be here.
I am so excited to have you guys on because I am part of the OG fandom. So I have been absolutely so patient, saintly in my patience for this show to return. So yeah, I'm absolutely excited to talk to you guys today. So it has been 10 whole long years since Black Butler originally aired, and we are kind of hopping right back into things with the public school arc on Crunchyroll. So after 10 years, what is it like to be able to reprise your role and kind of come back and revisit these characters again?
I mean, it's such a privilege. Like, it's so rare in an actor's career that they're able to voice a character for so long, but then to be able to revisit that character. I mean, it doesn't happen typically. So yeah, I just feel really fortunate and really grateful for the opportunity. I think it's incredible.
I've been doing Sebastian's voice at home by myself for 10 years, so it's nice to finally do it professionally again. Yeah, I stay in practice with him because it's just a fun voice to do. It's a fun character to play, and it's easy on the chords. But it just feels good. I like how it feels to say things as Sebastian. So now we're getting to do it again. It's like, yes, but it's super, super cool to see something you love have this kind of longevity, that it can come back and attract new fans and still appeal to fans that have been there from the beginning. It's also lovely to work with Brina again because she's one of my favorite colleagues and one of my favorite people. And I say that because look at her, look how uncomfortable she gets. Look how she hates when I give her compliments. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I think some of my best work has come because I've worked opposite Brina, and so it's really fun to get to revisit that and to slip into the role like a comfy pair of shoes again and just kind of revisit it. And it's just fun to hear Brina too. Every time I get to go in and she's already recorded, I'm like, yes, I love it. I love it.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, you're welcome. Shut up.
There's that chemistry.
I know. I was going to say, I mean,
there's that Ciel Sebastian chemistry.
Basically.
So we were in the room at Anime Expo. Gosh, I think it was last year or 2 years ago? I don't know. Time just runs together now. But when at the Crunchyroll Industry Panel, we announced that Black Butler was coming back, and the thing that always came up from the moment there was even a whisper that the show would be coming back, it was our Brina and Michael coming back. And I think that just really speaks to, one, the fact that Black Butler is such a foundational English dub for a lot of fans. But also just hearing y'all talk for the last few minutes just kind of confirms like why your names are in that conversation from the jump. So congrats and welcome back.
Thank you.
That's so kind
For
of you.
sure. Yeah. And like I said, I'm a member of that OG fandom. So let me just say I was both internally and externally losing my mind when that was announced. So
I love the question of like, are they coming back? It just creates this visual in my head of this fantasy I've had where like Brina and I are living like on a mountain somewhere in a cabin away from humanity, and they have to send some messenger to be like, "There's more Black Butler. Will you come back?" And
it shows up in like a locked briefcase with a code, and you open it up.
I love it. I love it.
You open it up and there's like a glow. Yeah.
Whereas the reality is, we heard about the show coming back, and we're like, "Do you think they'll ask us to come back? Do you think they'll ask us to come back?
they'll allow us to be a part of it again?"
We lived in this welter of anxiety, going, "Are they going to replace us? I mean, it's been such a long time. Things change all the time. You never know. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. I don't know. Can we still do the?"
Yeah.
We're not the only ones who are excited about the return of Black Butler. So we actually recently had David Dastmalchian on the show, who you might know from The Suicide Squad, Oppenheimer, Dune. I was not a part of that interview, and I'm very upset about it.
And if you're a horror fan, he was also the lead in Late Night with the Devil, which was fantastic.
Yes.
But he loves Black Butler. He is obsessed with Black Butler.
You know that feeling when you're like, why isn't there more of this? The show is so good. And there's certain shows where there's 10,000 episodes. And then there's ones where it's like, you can only find seasons 1 and 4, and you're pulling your hair out trying to be like, I've never pirated anything, but I'll steal it if I have to. That was how I felt when I started to get really hooked on Black Butler, that I think is just incredible.
Oh, it's coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Like
he's like, I'm on top of it. I got it.
Very excited.
After like a 10-year hiatus.
Not only
and
that,
it seems like it's a family affair too, because he said his kids like
what
it
are you
too.
doing to us? Don't tell us this.
Well, I have to admit, I actually did know that because we have the same convention agent. I've never met him, but my convention agent was like, "Hey, can you sign an autograph for David Dastmalchian?" And I was like, "What?
Whoa, you heard it here first. The behind-the-scenes scoop.
Oh
what
my gosh.
is anything?
Okay, so
that is fantastic.
Not to get even crazier here, but he's a huge fan. But he also said that if he could pick one live action anime to adapt and play a role in, it would be Black Butler as Sebastian.
Oh my God.
He would be so amazing.
He would be fantastic.
He would be so amazing. He already has the hair.
Yeah. He's ready.
Oh my God.
And the vibe.
Wow.
Yeah, he definitely
Can I be
has
his
the vibe.
dialect coach? That's all I ask.
That would be the crossover of a lifetime.
Yes, we've got to make it happen. There needs to be a photo, at least. At least.
Yeah,
a photo.
I need that in my life. I'll put it on.
Brina and I have to show up
on my
and like
desk.
Brina and I would have to show up as like extras in the background or something where it's just, oh my God. Can you imagine, Brina? Can you imagine?
I mean, that'd be pretty
The
dope.
possibilities.
It'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
I'm just imagining it now, like Christopher Nolan's Black Butler, starring David
Christopher
Dastmalchian.
Nolan's Black
500 lens flare count.
Speaking of, this is gonna be a hard pivot segue. Speaking of artists who are fans, segue.
This is Nick's forte. He's so good at segues. That's his strong
Leah
suit.
just calls me out every time I have to get us back on the rails.
He's the one that keeps us moving in the correct direction. So yeah, as you were saying, Nick.
Okay, now that we all know that David Dastmalchian is a fan of okay, what I want to know is what if fan responses to y'all coming back and the show coming back? Like, what has that been like? Whether it's on the con circuit or on social, like what has that been like?
I mean, if my experience is anything to go on, they're really excited. I mean, I've done quite a number of cons since the announcement that it was coming down the pike, and so people were like, "Are you guys going to be in it? Are you going to reprise your role?" And I was like, "I don't know. I hope whatever." But their enthusiasm was unmatched. What's really cool now is seeing fans come up who were young when the show came out and who now have children of their own, and they're like, don't worry, we're indoctrinating them into the ways of Black Butler. They're watching all of this in preparation for the season. There will be a quiz. And it's just delightful. It's delightful. But yeah, they really, Brina and I are very fortunate to be in a number of projects in our career that have gotten a lot of very positive reviews or whatever. People have really responded to them in a well and really seem to appreciate our work. But the Black Butler fandom for us has been the most supportive and like the most trenchant, and it's so nice. I mean, this is such a weird job. I mean, it's kind of anonymous, We're known for our voices, less so than for our faces. So it's very rare that you get known that just because you're associated with the show and they really like what we've done with it. And we're such fans of the show. It's nice to have that gauge to know whether we've done it justice because we desperately want to get it right. We love being in this franchise. We love working with all of our friends on it. Everything about it is just such a gift. It's nice to have that instant feedback that we seem to be doing okay. I can think of very few jobs where that's the case.
Yeah.
That's very true.
It definitely is. I remember in the OG fandom, it was like a whole movement with Black Butler and the meme subset of like, dude, the Black Butler fandom had the best memes.
I don't think I ever saw
remember
any
the very
of them.
first. I'm going to tell this story real quick, and I hope it doesn't derail us. But if it does, Nick is there to keep us back on track. I have faith. But I had just auditioned for the role of Sebastian, and a few days later, I was at a con. And so I didn't know I'd gotten the role. I hadn't been contacted. And this is 100% true. 2 fans came up and they had a Black Butler wall scroll and they insisted that I sign it. And I was like, I'm not in it. I don't know. And they're like, no, you're going to be in it. There's just no way there's just no way. And so I signed it with a giant question mark next to it. And then within 5 minutes, I got a call saying that I'd gotten the part. And I was like, so yeah, that was my goal. Yeah.
They were witches,
We need to
Michael.
find them
They gave you that role.
Yes.
Yeah.
You signed a
the
pact.
wall scroll.
That's actually what the wall scroll was. It was a contract.
Oh my
wall
God,
scroll
that's why we
prophecy
keep getting
foretold.
more.
Yeah. I need them to pick the lottery numbers
Yeah,
tonight.
can we get a wall scroll with the Powerball on it?
Yeah, let me get that Powerball scroll.
We are so sure you're going to win the grand jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was absolutely true. And that's never happened before where someone has guessed that that I'm going to be in something. They may hope, but whatever. They were so sure, like, no, sign this. We are absolutely. And I'm like, and they're like, sign it big. Like, it was so surreal. And then 5 minutes later, I get the call and it was like, okay, well, this means something.
That is like such a sweet story too. Like to know that fandom believed in you before you believed in yourself. Even official. Yes, yes,
they did. It was so nice.
Prophecy
They give us
foretold.
such life. They really do. We're very, very fortunate to have fans that are so supportive.
Yeah.
And so just lovely people who are also creative in their own right. I love everything about interacting with fans because they're family at this point, because we're fans of the show too. So we're like, yeah, we get to do it. When I see a cosplayer playing Sebastian, I'm like, oh, amazing. Hey, we share a role. Hey, what do you know?
Yeah. Black Butler
so much
cosplayers are my absolute favorite. Those costumes are intricate.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
I've seen people go as like Ciel to prom.
Like, I've seen that.
Have you seen
those?
That? Like a very like a Ciel full on cosplay. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you
Please
after
do.
the call. But yeah, like we've been talking about. I know Michael, you said stepping back into Sebastian was just like putting on the same pair of slippers over again. But what I want to know to both of you is, has your approach, to this project changed in that decade, and how have you kind of reapproached this project going back into the public school arc?
When I first started voicing Ciel, I very much felt connected to him with that whole idea of, I am defined by my anger, I'm defined by my hatred, and not wanting to let go of any of that. And then I went to therapy. And then I also had a child, and I, healed, whereas Ciel has not. He's still in it, and he still has so much grief and suffering and pain and loss that he has not doesn't know how to process. And I don't know that he ever will. And so I think for me, it kind of started during Book of Circus for me, that I started to see him in a way that kind of broke my heart whenever I would watch his choices and kind of watch the things that he still had to endure after having endured so much so young. So yeah, he makes me a lot sadder now than he did before, but I still adore him. And there's those are the types of things that we as actors love to sink our teeth into. You know what I mean? There's so much layering to him and so much depth to him that I think makes him, it's the reason that he's one of my favorite characters to play,
Yeah.
Well, and playing Sebastian, is impossible for me without having Brina, because everything Sebastian is, at least as far as the audience is concerned, comes from his reaction, his response to Ciel and what Ciel needs in that moment. His whole persona, as I see it, is one that he is adopted, that he's assumed because it's a reflection of Ciel's unconscious. Ciel needs kind of a prodding father figure that kind of heckles him a little bit, but is also able to protect him and also able to do this or that, and also give him kind of the emotional out of, like, at the end of the day, you can rely on me, but you're allowed to be cynical because I'm only doing it to get your soul. So you can be a little vulnerable about it and let yourself be taken care of. Let yourself, because you feel you know exactly what it is. And so my performance changes remarkably with Brina's, because I'm always reacting to what she's doing. And even if I don't get to hear her because she's not, I may be the first one to record on an episode now, I think we're so in tune with each other and each other's styles and methods as actors, because we've worked together for so many years in different capacities, that I can just, for me, Brina is Ciel. So when I just, even if he's just an animatic without any sound coming out of it yet, because I'm the first one to lay track in a scene, I hear Brina and can hear the emotion in her voice and how real it is for her, and then I respond to that. So my approach to playing Sebastian in Public School Arc is now, and I'm kind of having this, forgive me, I'm having this revelation as I say it, because hearing Brina talk about how, to paraphrase, I suppose, how little emotional growth Ciel has had, how he's become more capable a person, but he's crystallized emotionally, and how, for me, that now I realize Sebastian's kind of ribbing and his sarcasm, I think, for me, is motivated by this need to want Ciel to not take all those things quite so seriously, to make Ciel feel small, because it's the only way to shrink the negativity, the anger. Perhaps.
Wow.
Who knows? But that's again, it's so much. It's so.
Yeah.
That was a very poignant analysis.
Yeah.
Because he's a demon. He's immortal. He's been around for so long that all these human tragedies are such a drop in the bucket to him. Being so distant from it, but still fascinating. So yeah, but that's kind of how Brina and I've always worked together. I always kind of work off of what she's giving. She's a very, very present actor that you can just, there are fewer people in this business, and there's a lot of talented people we've worked with over the years, but there's no one I know who you can just hear things hit her. So I look at her. I rest my case. But it's impossible not to react to that. When you're sharing a scene with her, it's amazing. I mean, there is no Sebastian without Ciel, and everything good about my performance as Sebastian comes from getting to play off of the incredible performance she gives it, because she's so just present and thinks about it and really loses herself in the role in a way that's just, it's delicious to watch, and also painful and heartbreaking and wonderful, but also just, again, it's like she said, it's what we love as actors to sink our teeth into. What a gift to get to work with your friend when your friend is this friggin' talented.
Wow.
Stop it.
This is why.
Take it, Brina. Just take it.
I feel that way about Leah. Let's get emotional here on this call.
You're trying to get me to say something nice about you back.
Don't fall for it.
Oh, we're definitely split down the middle here.
He's going to give me a hug and be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a common occurrence after the podcast, a full, 40 minutes to 50 minutes of bullying him on camera. I'm always like, are you mad at me? You're my bestie. I love you.
It's funny because in our professional life, we're very much like Sebastian and Ciel in terms of how we work together. But in our personal lives, she's more Sebastian and I'm more Ciel because most of the progress I've made in my life comes from Brina pushing me into things and being like,
It's
no,
true.
do this. You should do this. And like, whatever. She's
Like,
she's
here you
the
go,
sort
Michael.
of person
I've
who will.
planned out your whole life for you. Do these things.
Yes.
I need someone
Here's
to do
the
that
man
for
you
me.
will marry. Like she introduced me to my husband
Oh
I have
God.
never-
Wait, is that
and told me
true?
she was like,
Yes, it's
you should
literally
get his
true.
number.
Yeah.
It is. It totally is.
Wait.
I have
Okay,
never,
I kind of need to
Okay.
know a little bit about that story.
never in my life have I tried to hook people up. Never. It's not my thing. It doesn't even like cross my mind to do. And even since Michael and Brandon, I haven't done it. They're the only ones that I was just like, hey, you two, go. You go together. Go together.
It's true. It's true.
That is so sweet. Oh,
I know. I love that
Yeah.
so much.
It's true. It's very true. So yeah, interesting.
I
how
don't know.
that.
I feel like I didn't have any idea how close you guys were. And I think that makes so much sense now, with your chemistry on the show. Like you've been saying how you two work together. That gives me a lot more insight into,
Well, yeah, especially since we're,
the chemistry.
the way that we record is just one at a time. So there are many times that I will record before Michael or vice versa, and we don't have the other person in our ears to react off of. But because we know each other so well, and we've even directed each other before in pretty sizable roles, it makes it easier to kind of predict what the other person is going to sound like so that the scene can kind of come alive. But yeah, there aren't a lot of other actors that I can do that with. I have a few, but Michael is definitely especially one that I feel really comfortable knowing where this scene is going to go and knowing what he needs from me to like get out a cool read. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
I know we only have a few minutes left, but before we let you go, we want to talk a little bit about what y'all are watching or reading or games you're playing that you think like Black Butler fans might enjoy, or fans of your work. So this is a segment we like to call recommendations. That's great. We'll use that as the segment intro.
Ooh, that one was good too.
That was good. Yeah, that was really good.
Recommendations.
Who wants to kick us off? Not me, because I've already talked enough.
Michael,
Nose goes. I'm
you
just kidding.
read it a
Yeah.
lot. Michael, go.
I do. I don't. Man, don't do this to me. I'm always reading like 100 books at a time. I won't say I've rediscovered him, but I always like to come back to this writer because he's one of my favorites. But Peter S. Beagle, who wrote The Last Unicorn, just came out with a new book. He's 85 years old and just published a new book called I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons. Just a great title.
That is a solid,
but it is so
solid title.
Yeah, and it's so characteristically marvelous of him. He's one of my favorite writers, and getting to dip back into that universe or into his beautiful poetic style, and just it's almost wisdom writing disguised as just fun fantasy and comedy. But it's like there's so much just heart and deep wisdom in his writing. There always has been. He's written two of my favorite novels, but one is actually out of print and hard to find, called The Innkeeper's Song, but I also highly recommend that. And I'm getting back into, after a long period away from her, the works of Ursula Le Guin, who's written a number of, just game-changing sci-fi and fantasy, most notably Wizard of Earthsea, which is one of the most beautiful pieces of fiction I've ever read. If you read none of her works, please find her giving an interview. She is one of the most incredible artists to watch, talking about her work and why she does what she does and what she hopes for from people who read it and also people who are inspired by it to create their own things. So yeah, that's what I'm reading today.
That is a solid rec list. And
I
I'm a
know.
huge fantasy fan, so I'm definitely adding
Nice.
some of your recs to my
Nice.
list.
Michael has the best book recommendations. Literally, my favorite book of all time is Hangs a Man, and it's because he recommended it to me that I have it tattooed on my arm. I have one of the lines tattooed on my arm.
I love it. I love it.
Because it's my absolute
We
favorite.
did a little book club for it. Just
We
me
did.
and like
I was
two
like,
other people.
I need to talk about this book.
Yeah, and we just got together and like drank like 4 bottles of wine, and it was great.
It was awesome.
I love that.
My recommendations, I've recently been listening to Ethel Cain's album Preacher's Daughter. It's
I love Ethel Cain.
Good. I can't stand it. Alexis
making a note of
Tipton, who's
that.
another voice actress and friend of ours, is who recommended it to me. And I was just like, what is this magic? Oh my God.
Audio alchemy for sure.
100%. Yeah. And it's so like, just deeply, like, just like,
Visceral.
Yeah. So I feel like Black Butler fans would like it. The other thing I'm going to say is I'm going to do a really shameless plug. And I actually have a single of one of my original songs. You can stream it on all the places. I'll definitely put it up on my Instagram as well. But yeah, I have, I'm going to be releasing a lot of new music this year. So
Congrats. That's awesome.
thank you.
Yeah,
I love that.
congratulations.
Thank you. Michael
I get to hear
heard it.
some of it sometimes, and it's amazing. I'm like, yes. I can't wait for her to unleash it upon the world.
What about you, Nick? What have you been watching,
Oh,
reading,
gosh.
listening to, playing?
Well, I mean, I've talked about it on the show a bunch. I'm basically between Haikyuu and One Piece, watching both of them for the very first time, of which I have to say my favorite Straw Hat is Chopper, hands down. Just little selfish story here, but my wife actually got me a signed figure of Chopper that you had actually signed at some point.
Sorry, I love how Brina's
Anyway.
reaction was like, I don't sign those. Your wife's lying to you. That's a fraud.
Counterfeit.
I've never
Counterfeit.
signed anything in my life.
Anyway.
It was signed before you ever were cast.
Anyway, I was talking about my wife, so strap in for the next 6 hours while I talk about my wife. No,
Certified wife guy.
So
it was
cute.
like, you know, because I grew up celebrating Hanukkah and stuff. So we finally, since we've been together, we do stockings for Christmas every year. And it's like the most exciting thing for me because I just think the idea of filling a stocking is so cool. And anyway, that was my last stocking gift, was a signed Chopper
Aw,
figure.
That's
So
awesome.
That's great.
yeah. But my rec, that's the segment we were in, right? I totally forgot. I started talking about my wife. And I was like,
Recommendations. Everyone, get
don't
yourself
know
a
where I'm
signed Chopper.
at.
Yeah.
No, I have to say, if you can catch it while it's still in theaters, go see Furiosa.
Oh,
Mad
I
Max
really
Saga.
want to. Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
It is. I actually didn't see Fury Road until like 2 weeks ago. Like I somehow went 10 years without seeing it, and I think Furiosa's better. It is such a like raw, emotional story. Like, Anya Taylor-Joy just crushes it. Chris Hemsworth, like, also really scary in this one.
Nice.
And yeah, so that's really good. And if you want an anime like it, Trigun Stampede. Have to give a shout out to the Wastelands of Trigun Stampede.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that's a good
Nice.
comparison of the two.
Mhm.
But for my rec, you know, it is Pride Month. Happy Pride.
Yay.
Be who you are. And so I have been watching a lot of queer stories. Right now, I'm in the middle of Cherry Magic, which the
You got to
longer
read
title
the
is
full title. You got to read the full title.
31 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. That is the full title.
That sounds awesome.
But it is so cute and wholesome and like just like a fun sort of like office romance type beat where one character can read the mind of the other one. It's so cute. Like just genuinely a sweet queer love story. And then I also finally, which is super surprising because I'm a huge Sasaki and Miyano fan. I just recently got around to watching Sasaki and Miyano Graduation, which is an hour-long special, kind of rounding out the Sasamiya story. And to this day, Sasaki and Miyano is just like, it is something that is so dear to my heart. I would even say it's in like my top 5 favorite anime of all time.
wow.
I think it's like just like a really wholesome, heartfelt, and like really beautiful, positive portrayal of like love and acceptance. And like, for example, there's a scene where one of the characters comes out to their mom and it is like the most easy, breezy, positive experience. And that's something that I'm like, we need representation for that.
Yeah.
We need like to be seeing on screen like like a coming out story that isn't like doesn't end in tragedy and like angst.
I love that because I feel like it's like showing society like this is how you do it. You don't have a script for this, it seems. here's your script for the right way to respond to this. I love that.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. For both, people who are thinking about, coming out to their parents, and for the parents, I think, being able to have that in media, and in media that like their kids are watching, and it's like a very like friendly, like family friendly show too. So yeah,
Oh my God.
I was just really, really excited to see that
That's so great.
representation like in an anime. This has been so much fun, you guys. I think, if you haven't seen Black Butler, or you haven't, you're part of the OG fandom and are diving back into the series with Public School Arc, that you are in good hands. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
you guys.
you guys so much.
It's our pleasure.
This has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Feel free, friend of the show, come back anytime.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Loved hearing that entire conversation. Brina and Michael had some great recs too. I didn't have a rec this week. I guess that is my penance for leaving you guys out of my kaiju recs. So,
I was going to mention one right now.
I was going to say, like the 2 times I've been here, there's been no rec segment because you guys are doing in interviews. So.
Just for you guys, extended rec segment.
Okay.
We're not going to go too long. We got some recs from fans, so I want to talk about. So this one comes from Bluefire 4000 on Crunchyroll.
What up?
Hey.
On the topic of movies that will rip out your heart and curb stomp it, watch A Silent Voice if you haven't already. I've seen it at least 5 times, and I cried each time.
Yeah.
Why would you watch it 5 times to hurt yourself? Like that?
It's me. Like,
why would
I
you
do that
watch
all
it
the
multiple
time.
times to hurt yourself? It's so good.
Y'all are
Why
going to
would
clown
you
on
do
me.
that?
I haven't seen A Silent Voice.
Oh, no.
I have not seen this movie.
You have to talk to Tyler. Tyler's my partner, and
I know
this
Tyler.
This is the one movie where he is if you ever meet him, he's notoriously like pretty stoic, I would say, just as far as like he doesn't cry at
did
things.
he cry
or
during
anything.
this?
He got very, very close.
Wow.
So at the end of the movie, he was like, you could tell that he was like very emotional, and he was like, I hate this movie.
You get back in there.
Yeah. So it's very good. I highly recommend it.
All right. Next rec comes from
Queen
listener
Bean
and friend of the
won.
show, Queen Bean
Returning.
One. On Crunchyroll, who said, glad Haikyuu is so well received. Definitely going to check out Ride Your Wave. I decided to do a blue theme of anime this last month, so I watched Blue Period, Blue Lock, and Blue Exorcist.
Wow.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I really wanted to finish my wolf theme of Spice and Wolf, Wolf Children, and Wolf Girl and Black Prince, but the last title is not available for streaming. Ugh.
Oh, the worst feeling.
I know.
I need to watch Blue Period. I've been reading it off and on, but I haven't watched it yet.
Blue Period was good. I've heard that if you want the full experience, you should definitely read the manga.
Okay.
But I did like the adaptation.
Cool.
I heard it just was maybe a little bit rushed, or felt a little bit rushed.
Okay.
Yeah. Blue Period, though, in general, like the story is great.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yep. And I think Ride Your Wave is on Max, Blue Period is on Netflix, and then Blue Lock and Blue Exorcist are both on Crunchyroll. You guys ready to get in the mailbag?
Let's do it.
Mailbag.
All right, let me get my outfit.
Yeah.
Wow, that was synced. Good job.
I think we got a couple of comments and a question from some fans this week.
Okay.
But Lee, you want to take us in?
Heck yeah. From Young Wash on Apple Podcasts. Just started listening, went back and listened to some of the old ones too. This is one of my favorite anime podcasts.
Aww, thank you.
After the last episode of Kaiju No. 8, it's low-key giving me Tokyo Ghoul vibes, and we've got to catch up on Goat Piece.
Yeah, it says #GoatPiece,
Yeah.
which there is
Nick
not
is trying.
Oh yeah, I am. I thought
I've
you
been
meant like I'm
trying, too.
trying, just as in like I'm trying. Like
I mean,
every
you're
day
trying
I'm
to
trying.
live.
You are trying every day too.
Thank you so
but-
much. I am trying. I have stalled at 300 because
Yes,
I'll watch like 50 to 100 episodes
And then just
take a
top
pause
out,
and
yeah.
then come back.
That's
I
where I am
thought you
too.
were. I thought you were past 300.
I
Wow.
had to stop it because I got bullied into starting Haikyuu.
Haikyuu Hive stand up.
It's good bullying.
I'm at like 210, so I need to hop
Nice.
back on it myself. From The Seven Shadows on Apple Podcasts, there are a lot of anime that got only one season, but people wish it got a second season. Which anime do you wish got a second season or never ended? Mine, of course, would be Darling in the Franxx. Interesting.
So the one that popped into my head because I was talking about Furiosa in the interview segment was Sabakui Bisco.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I can't remember if that ever got. I know it didn't get a second season, but I don't remember if there was ever an announced one.
I don't
even.
think it was, actually.
But there's a lot more to that series, so I hope that comes back. And then my big pitch for a second season is Akudama Drive, but it would be an anthology show in a completely different setting.
That'd be cool.
but with the same was like 12. I can't remember how
Yeah.
many archetypes there
I think
were.
it's- yeah, I
the
think it's
same,
12 characters.
same
Yeah.
archetypes, but in a different setting. So
Huh.
like imagine them in a space station or, diving underwater. I don't know. That's weird.
Interesting.
Or in, a fantasy setting or a prehistoric set. I don't know. Just
So
like,
you just want more of those characters.
yeah, because I
Oh, yeah.
loved the way that world worked.
Yeah, it was very
Mhm.
solid. It was very well put together. I think for me, again, if we're gonna stick on the Taku theme, Futopia,
Oh,
which was the sequel to Kamen Rider W.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I love
Yeah.
the way they did the transformations in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of on your thing, like I wish it would be more of an anthology
Mm-hmm.
because like they are Kamen Rider mangas. So I wish they
Oh.
would like switch and do a sequel for like Build or
Right.
like it would just be
But specifically
So-
anime. So like
so
anime
specifically anime sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think there's so much that you can achieve by making like a Sentai and anime. I
Uh-huh.
feel like there's so much that you can kind of pack in there. So I would love to see Build or X or whatever like get
Right.
a
Yeah, I know both of those.
get a sequel. So anime sequel specifically. Come on. And then just bring back Black Clover, man. I miss it. Like I miss Black
Yeah.
Clover so much.
I was really worried about this question at first because I could only think of shows that like had one season but like ended really well to
Yeah.
where I don't want another
Yeah.
season of it. But I did think of one, which is Katsugeki Tokenranbu, which
God. I thought you were going to say, for a second, I thought you were going to say It Invaded. And I was like, agree, there's a
It
manga,
Invaded would be
but
pretty good. Yeah. But
Go ahead, talk about the fantasy, historical fantasy again.
I'm telling you, man, I come on this show and Nick's just like, no.
This isn't the one where they turn their swords, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're historical swords that actually existed that basically get turned into fighters.
Oh, interesting.
And so it was originally created to get more women into history.
Mhm.
And so it's like, a bunch of pretty boys basically, but they're actual historical swords that kind of teach you about Japanese history and things like that. And it is great. It's so good.
All right. And from Jackson, VRR handy dandy question form.
Woo.
Yay!
What is a hobby that you got into because of anime? For me, it was relearning the guitar after watching Bocchi the Rock. Love the show. It's my favorite part of Friday.
Oh,
I
that's
love that.
nice.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Jackson.
I'm going to go first this time.
Oh, damn.
'Cause-
Okay.
Nick is like, well, forget me then.
I'm gonna go first. I think mine was actually drawing, surprisingly enough. And I think it's just one of those things where it wasn't specifically a certain series of anime, but it's just you watch so much anime and you're like, I really wish I could create characters that like look like this or
Yeah.
look this
Mhm.
cool or
Mhm.
something
Just
like
say
that.
it. You want to make OCs. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, basically, but I want them to look good too. And like, if you've ever seen my drawing, it's stick figures basically. So I really wanted to pick up drawing just to like try and get better about like being able to portray characters the way that that anime does. And then my ADHD just completely threw it out the window about a week later.
So no anime in particular, though, just
No.
in general.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, Nicholas.
So I actually picked up an instrument because of Bocchi the Rock as
Ooh.
well.
We know how
Uh,
much you love the Bocchi.
Yeah, my friends surprised me with a bass for my birthday last year,
Aw.
and so I got it because I wanted to learn Fall Out Boy songs. But
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. On brand.
and then also Evangelion, which got me into therapy.
Oh, Lord.
So
Therapy's not a hobby.
It's
folks.
not a hobby.
No.
But therapy is a great option if you need to talk to somebody.
Agreed.
So there's that.
Even
Thank
if you don't
you.
need to talk to somebody, therapy's a great option.
I
It is.
agree.
Sometimes you got to just work through your mess, man.
But it's still not a hobby.
But it's not a
Let's
hobby.
go therapy 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hashtag,
absolutely.
hashtag thumb and pinky.
No, not that. Never that. Wow. For me, I think it was Gundam Build Fighter. And I was like,
yeah.
these custom mechs are so cool. Like, and it didn't help that I have a couple of buddies that are really into Gundam and Gunpla
Uh-huh.
that were just enablers. And they were like, yes, bro,
Yes.
please start building Gundams. And here I
Yes.
am. So
Just no friction
Just
whatsoever.
no
like, yeah,
friction.
man,
Yeah.
do it.
just do it. And I'm like, but also because, I have such an attachment to like the giant robot genre.
Uh-huh.
You do?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't
First
know
time I'm
about
hearing
I don't
that.
know. And then I have like some of my favorite Gundams are from like G Gundam and of
Uh-huh.
course like Gundam Wing. So I've been slowly like collecting those to like
Yeah.
start building them.
I prefer the Boss Baby Gundam.
The
Stop.
Boss Baby Gundam.
Stop.
Get out of here.
Well, thank you to everyone who sent in recs, wrote in questions, sent your comments this
Hell yeah.
week on
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts. If you want us to read them, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. People have done it. That has made me happy. but we need more.
Have you read them in the promised funny voice when they leave them?
No.
I'm telling you, man.
There are a lot of anime that only got one season, but people wish it got a second season. Also, on Crunchyroll, on YouTube, drop your comments.
Yep.
Leave a 5-star on Spotify, even though you can't leave a comment.
Yep.
And you can check out our question form at got.cr. That's got.cr/anime effect questions.
If you go on YouTube, press the thumbs up so that you do the rating and everything.
Yes.
But then also in the comment that you leave, put 5 stars, like 5-star
Ooh,
emojis.
Yes.
And then leave your comments.
All right, that's enough. Lee,
Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Crunchyroll Presents The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and Leah President. And this week, Haley Wisenan.
Hey.
We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Shara Morris, and also me. Still, I get to keep doing it.
He's still here.
Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero, and our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Patrick Emile edited and mixed this episode's audio. Kamani Oletu filmed, and Aaron Neidick edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Tamika Balance-Kalasny.
Nick and Lee will be back next week with some cool stuff, and I promise I will be back very, very soon.
Haley will be back.
I'll be back very, very soon. You guys can't get rid of me.
But not as soon as next week.
Not-
I have
Not
to
as
clarify.
soon, yes, not as soon as next week, but still very, very soon.
And there's nothing you can do
There's
about
nothing
it.
you can do about it. You can't get rid of any of us.
You said
The
me.
train is
You
going.
can't get rid of me.
You can't get rid of him. Haley's around here somewhere. You definitely can't get rid of me. So here we
all
go.
around.
Oh my gosh.
Later
Bye,
days.
guys.
Bye, everyone.